Tennille Chalmers, co-guest, all the way back on episode 49 with her sister Kim. And the last time we saw each other was at the Alternative Varieties Wine Show in beautiful Mildura last year. But thank you for making a bit of time here at the Makers and Users event as part of Melbourne Food and Wine Festival.
Thanks, James. Good to catch up again.
Look, I'm sure the Chalmers family have been involved with the Melbourne Food and Wine Festival a bit in the last 25 years, as of course the 25th anniversary. Can you tell me, or even as an attendee, some of the highlight events that you've been involved with the festival in the past 25 years?
We actually were a major sponsor last year for the longest lunch. And that was it was a huge event for us to be involved with. I think there was 1,600 people at that lunch on the racetrack at Albert Park last year. Of course, it's on in vintage, so we didn't make it. I think we said mum and dad down, and they had a really nice time. But it was huge for us to be, to have our wines shown and served amongst Sky Gross's food in such an amazing and unique setting. The organisers behind the festival they do an outstanding job. We went and did I remember before the actual event last year, we went and did a tasting at Peter Rowland headquarters, and it was all taken very seriously. Guy Grossi was there. He created all the dishes, got the perfect matches going on with the wines that were selected for the day as well, and it was amazing. We love working with the festival.
Fantastic. As far as the concept of the event today, or have you been involved with any other events this year?
Yes, we had an event yesterday which was fantastic. It was based up in Heathcote, and it was called the Mediterranean Festa. And
that was at McIver Estate?
Yeah, that's right. And it was fortunately a beautiful day.
Not like today, unfortunately.
No, but it was beautiful weather. It was a bit windy, but McIver Estate is a gorgeous spot in the southern part of the Heathcote GI, where it's kind of not far from Macedon, where those beautiful granite boulders and rolling hills, and it's stunning scenery. But what I loved about yesterday was that the focus was, of course, on Mediterranean varieties. Obviously, that's something that we are certainly flying the flag for. And living up in Mildura and not being in Heathcote as much as we would like to, we were really stoked to be involved with that event and promote that a region like Heathcote has so much more than the Shiraz going on. There were some amazing examples of varieties, that we produce up there as well, but other varieties that, maybe from coastal France or Spain, Spanish varieties, and they all looked fantastic. I got to try quite a few. And of course there was wood-fired, pizza, and there was beautiful homemade gnocchi, and there was bocce and all the fun things.
Fantastic. So it felt like, a lovely Italian farm experience, I'm sure. Okay, so obviously the Makers and Users event is about, connections, and it's a very supportive industry, and through the evolution of time, I guess people go, are influenced by other people. What have been some of the influences for yourself and for the Chalmers family? And I'm sure some of the producers here today have been quite influential.
Well, just to my right, Mark Walpole is there, and I feel like Mark's almost family now. He's been working with and alongside, and has absolutely inspired the Chalmers family since almost day dot. He is an exceptional man with an amazing brain, and we love chatting to him any chance that we can get. It's really great to have a look at his wines today as well, because I know that's a new kind of avenue for him to be making his own wines, particularly in the last kind of 5 years or so, and he has some fantastic examples of awesome Italian varieties from up his way.
Well, his Aglianico in particular did very well at the Alternative Varieties Wine Show, I remember.
Yeah, I think he won, he got a trophy.
International Judge's Choice.
That's right, you're right. So Mark's also on the committee for the Alternative Varieties Wine Show as well, so he's always up in Mildura for the wine show. But in terms of influence, we've got, of course, Max Allen here, which is who's in charge of the day, and Max has been obviously he's not alongside of us as a producer, but he has been so influential for us in terms of encouraging, basically. Max, I think, started probably writing about Chalmers in great detail in the very early days, and it was things like articles by people like Max Allen and Jane Faulkner that over the years have given us so much confidence and courage to continue on this Italian variety path and alternative variety path that we've been championing for so long now. But when you've got people like that behind you and supporting you, you really kind of go, and you respect somebody such as Max Allen. It's good to have those people on your side, absolutely.
Fantastic. And of course, you guys have, like a lot of people here, have been deep in the throes of vintage, very late vintage. And they even made the Melbourne Food and Wine Festival later this year to coincide with the top 50, and the vintage is still later. It's still going on. How's the 2017 vintage looked for you guys?
We've had a fantastic vintage. I know it's been quite unusual for some, and yes, it is very, very, very late. To give you an idea, we've only just picked some rosé fruit for 2017 rosé for Alianico from our Heathcote site, and we've still got a few varieties left in both our Mildura vineyard and our Heathcote vineyard. So usually by kind of early April we're well and truly done. But that's fine, that's just the season. In terms of great quality, absolutely stoked. Fantastic fruit we've been working with this year. But in other news, we've actually just established our own winery up in our Mildura vineyard at our Melbourne site. Now, this winery, Bart Van Olfen, Kim's husband.
Your brother-in-law?
My brother-in-law. Bart and I have been making the wines. Taking over the making of the Chalmers wines, which we've previously been having them made down at Kooyong on the Mornington Peninsula. So we're sending our Heathcote fruit up to the Mildura vineyard site, and we're now making our wines up there. So very exciting times up there. We've just invested in things like a beautiful Booker bag press and great new stainless steel tanks and chestnut bottes and all sorts of things like that. And we're in the thick of it at the moment. We thought we were going to do about 50 tonnes this year. I think we're just pushed about 75.
Wow.
And we're still going.
Fantastic. Well, and like one of, I guess, the exciting things, there was an event not that long ago, I think it was at City Wine Shop here in Melbourne,
yes.
Looking at different producers who are lucky enough to be able to buy some fruit from the Heathcote vineyard. So I think Chalmers is probably one of the more influential people in the wine industry, certainly here in Victoria, and it's really exciting to see people getting behind the alternative varieties and looking at Mildura differently as well. So, obviously I wanted to thank you and your family again and everyone involved with the Alternative Varieties Wine Show for allowing me to be the fellow last year. It was a fantastic experience. And look, thank you very much for making a bit of time to catch up. It's been great speaking with you again.
No problem. Welcome back to the wine show anytime, James.
Thank you. I definitely will be.